Okay, so I've drawn my little corgi and I really am happy with it. I think it's pretty cute. I love the detail in the rug. And like I think I said in the other video, you know, even your teachers, even really, really awesome, talented artists out there, we all erase, we all make changes. It takes time to make something good no matter who you are. So I want you always to keep that in mind. To give the rug some color today, we're just gonna have solid stripes, okay? Because we already have a whole lot of detail going on and we still want the emphasis or the main focus to be the animal. So if the rug gets too busy with too much happening, it could detract from it. So we're gonna just use that art element color on top of the lines and the shapes for some pop. Okay, so you're gonna take your kit and stir a puddle of water into the color you want. Watercolors are supposed to be translucent, which means a little bit see-through. And so if you don't have enough water puddle in your palette, or if it's on here too thick and it's not spread around enough, it won't be translucent. And if it's not translucent, then we don't see the design of your cute little rug. Slow down up on your edges like I am here, so it doesn't get out of the lines too much. And then remember that this goes through, so this is also kind of this violet color. Slow down by the body. You can see that I'm sort of outlining that leg and paw purposely. Because if I do that, then when I fill this in, I'm more likely to just bump into my outline and not the animal itself. Feel free to jump around when you're painting. So I'm gonna rinse my brush. You can kind of see me doing that off camera. And I'm gonna go to another area. It could be totally rainbow like you saw in the cat ones that I showed you, or you might pick cool colors, for example, blue, purple, and greens, and just do all those shades. You could pick warm colors, which are red, oranges, and yellows. You could do a pattern like green, blue, green, blue, green, blue. That's part of the fun we're gonna have with this, is for you to decide what your colors are going to be. Now that right there is really puddly and it's making me a little bit nervous. And so what I need to do is I need to take that puddle, I'm going to bring it down here, and I'm not going to go back to my paint palette. I need to spread that puddle around. And the reason is the more puddly something is, then it kind of is like the paint's the boss and it's in charge and it's going to bleed and go wherever that water wants to. But if we spread it around, then we're the boss. We're deciding where the paint is going to be placed, and we keep it from seeping into other areas. Okay, so I've got that. If your water gets dirty, keep it nice and clean always. So just a rule of thumb that if your water gets yucky, you can go ahead and rinse it in the sink. Typically, I'd tell you not to do two things right next to each other that are both wet because it can bleed, but because I don't have a ton of water in my green, and I'm going to be careful to pull all this away, not make it too puddly. I think I can get away with it. Spread it out first before you put more on, and then make decisions about how much more you need. Sometimes I like to turn this when I'm working, because then if I want to work over here, I'm not reaching my arm over something and dripping, because that's a big, like, whoops, to have that happen. So one of my biggest secrets is to just turn the paper. I do that all the time. Careful around those little ears. Outline with very little paint on the brush. Pull this puddle down. Little outline. Pull that down. I can always add more in a moment. Outline. A little teeny bit more water. A little bit more color where it was faded. Spread that puddle away from the dog or cat. Okay. And keep going.